Yeah, in our house, one of our absolute weekend favourites is the classic scrambled eggs and smoked salmon. And John's got the perfect recipe.
I do, but first of all, we need something to go with the scrambled eggs.
Yes, so I thought I'd make pikelets to go with them.
Pikelets.
So a pikelet really is just a thin crumpet.
Right, where do you start?
So I'm going to start by getting some milk and I'm going to put that in a pan.
I'll turn it on for you.
But just a really, really low heat.
Right. So warm the milk.
Warm the milk so that you can still sort of put your finger in it, which is not exactly the cleanest way, but you know, just it's that sort of baby's bottle milk.
Right.
That's what you want. You don't want it any hotter than that. And a teaspoon of caster sugar. So really, we're just dissolving that caster sugar and then the milk can come off.
I'll get you some yeast.
Thank you. We've got fast action yeast, so we don't actually need to do much to it. You just pour it into here.
Having the milk warm and the flour warm does mean the yeast will actually work faster,
yes,
doesn't it?
Exactly. And a teaspoon of salt or a pinch of salt's fine, like that.
Right.
And just mix those together.
So those little bubbles around the outside tell me it's warm.
Yeah, so we're fine, we're there with that.
So what do you want it to be? What consistency?
It does make a ribbon.
It's like a thicker Yorkshire pudding batter.
It is a thick Yorkshire pudding. It's almost elasticy. So that just needs to rest for an hour to prove. I've got one here in a little proving drawer, but even just stick it by your oven or somewhere warm in your house. And then you can see, look what's happened after an hour.
So there's the massive difference.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give that just a little mix. There we go. Perfect. So that pan's on. It's got to be on a really low heat. And then I'm just going to take a little ladleful and just start.
I had these the other day for breakfast. And then I went to the cupboard and I was really upset because I wanted to have my pikelets with Vegemite and there was no Vegemite left.
I know, it'd all been eaten.
I had to have, no, what do you call it?
Bovril.
Bovril, I call it Bonox. Anyway, so that's it. Look at those little...
Right, look. There we go. I'm just going to, hopefully, yes, they'll just sit in the pan. And what they're going to do is, you see these little bubbles that start forming?
Yes.
On the top. And what we want is them all to go through so that we've got lots and lots of bubbles. And I just keep going, keep making a few more. Which is just me being impatient, I think.
And it sort of dries at the top, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you get a tiny little film over the top and then you know you can flip them over.
But do you find the first batch is a bit sort of dodgy and the second batch is better?
Always, because
Right.
your pan's heated up, you know exactly how much to put in.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. And then look.
They look lovely though.
Yeah.
And are you going to make another batch
So
as
I'm
well?
going to make batches of them and then you can carry on with your scramblers.
Right, okay. So, scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs are one of those brilliant things if you know how to do them right. But you know you get them sometimes and they're a bit dry.
Yes.
And they don't quite work out. So there's a couple of little tricks. 6 eggs, and then I'm going to add something very, very clever to it, which is crème fraîche, because crème fraîche is cooked cream and it's stabilised, which means that it doesn't cook anymore.
Oh, lovely.
So break 6 eggs into a bowl. And what you do is you just, with your fork, break the yolks. And then give it a little bit of a swizzle.
Right.
So it's not completely mixed up. Because otherwise you don't get the texture of the egg and it cooks too quickly. And that's when it overcooks and goes really, really dry. And then pepper, not salt.
Make it a bit... Why not salt? I want a little bit of salt.
You will in eventually, but if you put salt in now, it breaks down the white of the egg.
Yeah.
And it makes it too liquidy. And again, the salt starts to cook it. And if it starts to cook it, you end up with dry scrambled eggs and all the water comes out.
Okay.
And that's not good. So this way, it works. So into that, I'm going to put half a tub of crème fraîche, which is about 100 grams, 100 mils.
Oh, gosh, I'm excited about this.
And then, I love the fact you eat them all the time. I have no idea how I make them. So mix that together, but not too much. So it's almost like a swirl. It looks like a passion fruit swirl on a summer's day.
It does. I'm desperate to get in there and whisk
Don't
that a bit.
do that.
Okay.
So you take a knob of butter, I'd say 50 or 60 grams of butter, into a pan which is warmed, but not too hot. You want to sizzle a little bit, but you don't want it to burn. And then, before the butter is all melted, in goes the egg and cream mixture.
Yum.
And as it starts to bubble, you'll see now what's happening. The eggs are starting to bubble already because of the cream and the butter's coming together. And now is when you add your salt.
Right, okay.
A good pinch of salt to the top.
That's where I've been going wrong for so many years with my scramblers.
And already it's starting to come together.
But it's almost marbly. You've got actual bits of white in there.
Bits of white and bits of yolk, and then that way you'll get the lovely texture. Right now, you'll see the steam coming off.
Yep.
As soon as you see that, off it goes.
Okay.
It's got to come off the heat now because it will keep on cooking. Although it looks a bit soft,
Yeah.
the residual heat will keep on cooking inside those scrambled eggs. Now, I love, and you love, smoked salmon and scrambled eggs.
Love it.
But the question is, do you put the salmon in the egg?
No.
Or
no.
not the egg?
Don't ever do that. Please don't do that.
I'm doing it. Because it's the way I like it.
No, because then it cooks the salmon and then... It's lovely. Very nice, John.
This is what I deal with at home, you see, is the fact is that if I want to have something, then I've got to separate. So we're going to do a double lot, just for you to make you happy, OK?
I want my smoked salmon on my pikelet and a bit of egg on the side. I don't want the...
So if you want to, this is the best thing to do. At this stage, take some scrambled eggs out if you want it without the smoked salmon in it.
So shall I take one there?
Yeah, you do
Put
what you
him.
want to do and dress what you want to dress.
OK.
And then I will do my bit. Tear it up.
Yeah.
And then, whilst it's off the heat, then drop in the salmon. Off the heat.
OK. Right, so it doesn't really cook?
No, if you cook the smoked salmon, what happens is the oil comes out. You want just to mix it together quite nicely. And then you can put some chopped chives through if you wanted to.
Lovely.
Or anything like that, that's up to you. But then what I would do is take that, and then I put some of your pikelets on the side. I think they look lovely,
They're nice,
don't they?
aren't they?
Yeah. And then we take our smoked salmon, take the rest of those off, and then you get your own little pikelet.
I'm happy.
You are. Yum. And there we have it. Your delicious pikelets, my smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, and of course, your own little one on the side, as always.
Thank you.
Just for you. As I said at the start, eggs are really versatile. There's my savoury dish with smoked salmon, and of course, you always have eggs sweet.